There, my name is Sebastian, and I'm going to show you right now and real quick how to use ProjectFlow AI to avoid spending countless hours trying to find key information on group chats from your team on any other team that you might be part of. So first of all, you need to go to the dashboard. In there, you will have the option in the sidebar to create right away a team from here, or you can just open the sidebar to analyze and see what the type of teams you already have or the chats that you have already. This was a test that I was doing previously, so I'm just going to create a very similar one. So let's do it. It's called Swell Marketing. And here we're going to select this icon. By the way, you can choose any color as well for your team in a way that you can customize it. You can just click on Create Team. And once we have it, is this one. We can just click on it. We can close the sidebar. And here we basically have the possibility to text as any other AI chat, but we have the plus that we can upload conversations. So this is the key of our product. Basically, you can, this is, by the way, this is a real chat conversation from Telegram of our marketing team. All right, so you can ask about any specific date, any specific task or problem, and it will give you an answer related to that, all right? But in this case, I'm going to show how it works for all the available dates that we have at the moment. So you can ask, let's say something like, analyze all the tasks and risk for all the available dates. You can just send a message. Sometimes it may take a little bit long when your conversation is way too long. You know, sometimes team chats are very, very long, a lot of messages and information in there. But usually it's pretty fast. I'm just like giving you a heads up in case your conversation is pretty long that you will need to wait a little bit for it to load and process, regarding, of course, on your query. If you ask for a specific date, of course, it's going to be way faster. Also, something very important that I would like to clarify is that we never save the files of our chats, or in this case, in your chats, to our database or to our servers. So everything is stored in session to be able to process and extract all the necessary information to reply to your query. All right, so as you can see, it started already to find out about in this case, the task about all the dates. So, all right, it's over. Yeah, it's done. So we can see here the task. On each task, we have the title. There's a very small description. You know what's the title. Then we have the description itself, where is something more specific about what this task is about. We have also a priority. So AI in this case is assigned a priority in the case of how important we said on the chat that this task was, or how important the agent thinks that this task might be. And also, when we are assigning tasks, it's very important always to clarify also who is responsible for this, all right? So we also adding this information in here. And if the agent finds any due date for the task, it will also put it in here, all right? So as you can see here, there are some tasks that are without any specific date. I'm going to show you later on how to modify this. So as you can see, there's a lot of tasks. Plenty of them are related to marketing and all sort of things, because as I said, like, is the marketing group chat for ProjectFlow AI itself. So, well, after a task, then we have risk as well. So as the same as in task, we have title, description. In this case, we have severity. So instead of here we had the status, we have here severity. Oh, sorry, no, it's not status, but priority. Here we have severity. So how bad can be in the case that this risk or this problem is not solved. Also, the impact is very similar to severity and the status. So we solved this already. We are trying to fix it, or what's going on with it. All right. This is also something very important. We have performance. On performance, we try to track, and the agent tries to track the performance of each team member, or the list of each participant on the chat. All right. So in this case, we have 3 people only in the chat. So it's Dimitri, Natalia, and me. Owner in this case is the owner of the team, but by default, you can just, it's owner, but you can just change it. Let's say in this case, it will be me. I will show later on how to do that. Or let's say that if the owner of the chat is Natalia, so you can just change owner to Natalia, and it will just show that the owner, in this case Natalia, will have this, let's say, collaboration score, mentions made, productivity, professionalism, response rate, and team engagement. So this is all the sort of things that we also measure on team members, basically to help you as a team manager or as a CEO to get a perspective on how efficient your team members might be. All right, that's pretty much everything from this part. Here I would like also to show suggestions. So when you click in here, most of the times we don't really know what type of question should we ask. All right, so we can see in here that it's giving us already some sort of ideas of what we might ask following up this first analysis. So let's say this first question, what are the revised timeline for the first outbound campaigns, considering the current status of SMMM, graphics, and LinkedIn access? All right, then we have the next question. We're given like 4 questions that the agent thinks that might be the most important things to ask related to the conversation. So there might be related to task, related to performance, also risk, and well, pretty much anything. Then as you can see, there is a lot of information here to digest. So it will take as well some time to go through all of it. So we also have a summary in here. All right. So on the summary, we try to make the agent to provide you with information as short as possible. All right. So you will not need to read and go through all the information that we have in here, but basically receive a very concise summary of what's going on the specific date you ask. All right, in this case we ask for all dates, so I suppose it's giving us a summary for all what's going on in the chat. All right, you can just pause the video and go through it and read it out. I would like also to show the sources. Right, so it's very important for us to make sure that the agent is giving us real information. All right, that is not hallucinating or inventing something basically that wasn't on the chat, or a task, or let's say a risk or something like that, because it's very important for us to keep track of those things. So of course, might be the case when the conversation is getting longer and longer that it might start hallucinating with some sort of things, but we try to avoid all those things to make sure that it's always providing the sources and context for the conversation. All right, so all right, this is in sources. And now in task, we can see the same information that we had on the answer on this chat interface, but in this case we can edit pretty much anything. All right, so let's say that this very first task we can as deleted. All right, we can delete the first task. Let's say that this task from Natalia, we can change it. Let's say that we can change the title, align on content plan on introduction for blog. Let's say that it's only for blog. All right, let's say that the agent just hallucinated with that and it's not related to LinkedIn but only to the blog. And let's say that the priority was critical. All right, so the blog is very, very important. Let's say that the assignee was Natalia but it was Dimitri. All right, so let's put Dimitri and the date 24th. All right, let's say that it's for, let's check, let's say that it was October 24th, better. All right, we can just save it. All right, here we can of course go through all the tasks that the agent found and on the chat and analyze either they are true or not, modify if there is something that we see off, or even add task if we want. All right, so we can just click on that task and just modify pretty much everything. All right, in this case I'm just going to cancel, delete this, exactly. And okay, so we also have the risk. So again, as on the answer tab, it works pretty much the same, and on the task it also works pretty much the same. All right, so we have title, description, severity, impact, status. We can edit, we can delete stuff, and we can also look into performance. I would like to also to show this part. So performance is like related to the team performance, right? Like as a team and as well as the team members. So we have the score that the agent gave us in here. Let me show you. In this table, performance, But in this case, it gives us also a graph, interaction graph. Keep in mind that the interaction graph works only with very precise conversations. So in this case, you can upload TXT files or just copy and paste in conversation on this part, on the chat interface, and it will be not that precise or might not be even giving you this graph, all right? So this graph is given mostly when the conversation is in JSON format, all right? Because we have all the structure and all sort of text. So very important to save all this. So let's confirm. Let's give it a little bit. Now we can go to risk and also save all the information that we have in here. Confirm. Here we start like to save all the risk one by one. And right now let's go to task and let's do exactly the same. Save changes. There are 35 tasks in this case, so it's going to start saving one by one. The good part is that we can see how many tasks we have and which number we are at the moment, right, to save the task. So let's wait for it to save all the tasks, and then I will show exactly where we can see the overall performance of the team. All right, so as obviously we know that you might upload chats every day and ask certain task or certain risk or just in general questions about every day, all right, to keep track of what's going on your team. So what I showed before until this moment, it was basically how to interact, how to upload files, the information you can get, how to modify it, and all sort of things. But right now I'm going to show the overall status and the overall, let's call it, tracking of the team. All right, so you will always have, and every day you can upload some sort of information, and you can, let's say, change the status of a task or keep track of the performance of each team member, pretty much anything that you would like to keep track of. All right, so all right, we can go now here to risk, and as you can see, the risk we save, they're all in here. All right. If let's say that for any reason we didn't notice this, let's say this risk, all right, let's say that we solved it already and we just missed it on the chat interface, so we can just delete it, all right? Or let's say that the impact for us is not that bad, so we can let's change it to, let's say 1, we can save it, and that's it, right? So we have pretty much always this possibility to play around with the risk, modify something if it's not realistic, or basically if we just miss it. Then we have task. Again, it works exactly the same, so it's safe. As you can see, the 35 task we had previously on the chat interface and that the agent found for us on the chat. And as always, we can basically modify, delete, do pretty much anything in here, all right? On team analysis, this is very important. All right, so in team analysis, we're able to see a pentagram to, oh, that's great. At least here, Dimitri, that is our team member that basically is the one in charge of marketing. He received a top score of 96, so that's very, very high. So that's really good because he's the one on marketing, so it would be strange if he would receive like 60. But all right, so in this case, we can notice that the pentagram, as any other pentagram, is gonna be changing based on the score for each part, right? So we have collaboration score, collaboration, mentions made, productivity, professionalism, response rate, and team engagement. On growth, we will see with time. Let's say that you today upload this chat, then tomorrow you're gonna ask them for tomorrow, like what was tomorrow, and it will start changing, right? So how good his performance was, like he had some growth, he had some decrease or something like that of his performance, something like that will be shown here. Let's say Natalia in this case, she received a 98, 98 points. In this case, yeah, you can see the pentagram change a little bit from Dimitri once, but It's also really good. And then mine is like 88. I guess it's the lowest score. But also the pentagram looks really good. All right. But anyway, if we have like, let's say 10 team members or more, it's always going to show the pentagram for each team member. And as you upload more and more conversations, all the stats are going to be saved. All right. So you can keep track of very important things like, the performance of your team members. Then on pentagon analysis, we have something very similar, but in this case, it's for the overall team. All right. So in this case, in team analysis, as you notice, it's like an individual analysis for each team member. By the way, you can also modify something here. All right. So it was what I was saying. Let's say that the owner is not the owner, but it's me in this case. So I can just say that the role is owner. All right. In this case, it's me. The scores, I can even change my score. All right. So let's say that I want to have 100% on collaboration, 100% on this. Like, let's see that I want to have 100% on everything. All right. So I would just save changes, and it should give me all these points already on my graph. We can also change the color if we would like to, so to personalize it a little bit more. All right, so now I have 100% overall. As you can see now, my pentagram is the best one. Well, a little bit, the matrix one also looks really good. But anyway, so on pentagon analysis, we can see, as I said before, the overall analysis of the team. All right, so it's basically how we are analyzing the team as a group. All right, not as an individual team member as in team analysis, but overall as a group. AI analysis is like what we just showed before. And on dashboard, this is the most important part. You might be want to refresh the page so you can see all the information. So here we're going to show pretty much all the metrics for the team. All right, take in mind that this of course will change over time. So if you can see here, we have a percentage of how it's going up or down. But in this case, let's say that we have team engagement 71%, 70%, 71, and 73. All right, here, this is like already the performance trend. All right, so we are going to have also this classification based on points. So from 0 to 100, it's going to be changing. All right, so every day the team will have a different type of performance. And therefore, also this graph is going to change. Okay, so we have this in here. We have the compositional analysis as well. In here, we have the involvement status. So some sort of like a team analysis, but more in a understandable way for some audience. All right, so we have the same scores we receive on team analysis. Basically, here I should have 100 here for it. Yes, amazing. Yes, then we have the active, the active members from the marketing team. So how active are they on our team in this case? So we have Dimitri, Natalia, and me once again. We also have here message share by member. So how many messages were shared for any given participant on the chat. Here the graph should be showing right now. I don't know why it's not showing, but all right, it was before in the video. Probably I didn't save it properly. Yeah, we also can see here the overall task and risk. All right, so it's more like an understandable way. All right, so if we go back to the task, we also have some sort of like very granular information, so we can go task by task, analyze each task, and we have this more like what exactly is going on, right? So like a total sum of the task and all sort of things. But here on the dashboard, we can already have progress, keep track of pretty much everything at the same time. So we can understand that there are 10 tasks completed, 17 in progress, and 8 that are still pending, all right? And with risk, the same. So 2 critical, 1 high, 1 medium, and 1 low. In any case, we can also, let's say that if we are here, let's say like, 2 critical risk, all right? So we can just click on view all, and it will redirect us to risk, and then we will be able to identify exactly the critical risks that we have. All right, so unrealistic CACA calculation of financial model. All right, let's say that we solve this, so I can just modify it from critical. Oh no, let's better to resolve. All right, I'm gonna save it. So that's it. Our task is solved. It still is being critical, but we solved it already. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. So I hope you will use it. You will use ProjectFlow AI a lot. And if you can suggest any sort of improvements or new features you would like to see, we'll be more than happy to receive your feedback. Goodbye.